Welcome back to Beyond 40 and Just Getting Started. 20 years ago, I sat across the dining room table from my wife, once again explaining to her why I was passionate about making my living through farming. In that moment, I heard the best words of my life. She looked me in the eye and told me that she knew I could do anything I set my mind to. That opened the floodgates of opportunity. Suddenly, it was no longer a dream. Suddenly, I was scheming and planning of how to make this ambition reality. I worked, we saved, we finally bought a piece of land. We moved out to the country. We planted, we sold, we fixed, we raised, we did everything that we possibly could. 10 years into that dream, we found ourselves driving away because we'd financially failed. What stung the most from that memory is remembering the trust that my wife had put in me and realizing I hadn't lived up to that trust. That was heart-wrenching. It wasn't because I hadn't tried. It wasn't because I hadn't put my all into it. It was because I'd underappreciated the financial side of it. I was still working an off-farm job. I continued to have the employee mindset. In the years after we sold the farm, I settled for safety. I took a good job. We lived in a subdivision. I commuted to work like many other people, and I was suffocating. My life had no excitement, had no ambition. There was nothing that inspired my dreams. With that lack of inspiration, I found myself drawn to passive income. I found myself pulled into the siren call of fire, financial independence, retire early. I pursued that traditional route, but I realized soon that the set it and forget it framework of passive income was not going to work. It was going to take too long for me. As mentioned in other videos, that caused me to settle on a springboard approach for finances. That springboard approach worked. It was thrilling. It was exciting. All of a sudden, I had my path back to land and to rural living. But at the same time that I realized I had my path back, I realized how small my dreams were in the past. In the past, farming was dealing with unreliable tractors, having equipment that breaks down, changing my own oil on a 20-year-old car. But now I had acknowledged that there was a life outside of the employee swimming pool. I had acknowledged that life wasn't confined by scarcity. There is a prosperity swimming pool. There's abundance. There's opportunity. So my dream of farming didn't have to be change your own oil and deal with unreliable equipment. Suddenly my dream of farming could be check on the crops in the morning, participate in multi-million-dollar investment calls in the afternoon, and take vacations to Europe. All of these dreams are possible now because of the prosperity swimming pool. But they're all reliant upon a financial foundation. The foundation I didn't have when I initially tried to make my living off of farming. So now that I'm in the prosperity swimming pool, I'm anxiously chasing challenges. I'm anxiously establishing false peaks for myself because in the end, what I'm really doing is building a war chest. A war chest of not only money, but of skills, of confidence, of mindset, of social connections. All the tools that I'll need to live the most abundant life that I want to live. And these are tools that are going to allow me to have dreams bigger than I ever thought possible and make those dreams reality. What does the future hold for any of us? We don't know. But if we're today working on our war chest, making sure that we're prepared with the tools and the techniques that we need to succeed in this life, in this abundant life, we can then sincerely pursue any ambition that appeals to us. Where are you constraining your own dreams? What are the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from allowing those dreams to grow even bigger? Explore that question with me and the community of Beyond 40 and Just Getting Started. If you're a man over 40 that's not content with what life has given you, this is the community for you. Subscribe, share this with your friends. Remember, we may be over 40, but we are just getting started. See you next time.